Welcome to another part of my World Cup preview series. It's no longer a preview series. Right now we're going to do a little review of the games played so far in Group C. The second round of games in Group C will be played today. We've got England against Algeria at night, and earlier today we'll have USA versus Slovenia. We'll just look forward to those games for a little bit, but we'll also talk about what's been happening. Of course, England-USA was one of the biggest games in the first days of the World Cup. Most people kind of expected England to win, which I thought was a bit dodgy, since we know that USA has a capacity to really improve their game, right? In big tournaments against good teams, they play better when they play better teams. And there's a lot of teams like that, actually. USA played a pretty decent game. Of course, they were lucky to get the goal because it was just a horrendous error by Robert Green, the goalkeeper. So lucky to get that goal, but then again, I believe it was Josie Altidore. He could have scored. Yeah, he hit the goalkeeper on the post in the second half. He could have scored a goal. That would have been a valid goal. They were dangerous from time to time. I thought USA played an okay game. Of course, England did have a couple of great chances. They scored a good early goal. And really, when you usually see with one of these games is that, the weaker team starts defending and the better team has trouble getting through the defense, and that remains 0-0 for a long time, or maybe the weaker opponent scores the odd freak goal, and then all of a sudden the game can end up in a very strange result, much like Spain-Switzerland. Spain's the better team, but they don't score a goal, then Switzerland remains in it, and one good attack and boom, it's 1-0 Switzerland. And but that's not what happened at all. Actually, England had an excellent start, and they played well and scored the early goal, and seemed like nothing was going wrong there. And then all of a sudden, Robert Green makes this error. For USA, got better into the match as the first half progressed. But really, England in the first half was still the better team, but the second half, they didn't really do a lot. They did have a few chances, but England wasn't very impressive. But then again, of course, USA is not the weakest opponent you can get in the first game at all. I predicted 1-1. It ended up being 1-1. USA had a good preparation, and we know that against big teams, USA can really motivate themselves to push their game to a higher level. And we knew England didn't have a very good preparation, so I thought maybe their first game was gonna, they were gonna struggle a little bit. So that's why I anticipated the draw. But looking ahead, I think USA and England should be the better teams in this group. But you never know, strange things can happen. But I would expect USA and England to win the other games. I expect England to definitely win both games. And USA, well, they may struggle against Slovenia, but I would expect them to just be able to win that, and then Algeria shouldn't be a major problem. Although USA is they play well when they're more counter-attacking. They're a reactionary team. When they can just defend and counter-attack, they're more dangerous. As when they're playing a weaker opponent and they have to dictate play themselves, they're not as good. It's probably also one of the reasons why USA has always been doing well against Mexico, because Americans always say, you think Mexico is a better team, you think Mexico is a good team, well, we beat them consistently. Well, that may be true, but that's also because Mexico always plays the possession game. They move forward, they dictate play, and then USA can just counterattack and react, counterattack. And, Mexico plays exactly the type of game that the US team likes to play against. But then the question is, how will they do against an opponent that makes them dictate play? And Slovenia is such an opponent, so there's always the question. And actually, in the other first game, Slovenia-Algeria, you saw the same problem. Like USA to a degree, Algeria and Slovenia are reactionary teams. They like to sit back, defend, and then gamble on the counter-attack. Well, what happens if when they play a better opponent like Slovenia played Russia? They can play their favorite game. They can defend and counter-attack, and they can be dangerous. But when they play a team like Algeria, they have to dictate play. They have to show something. They have to make something happen. And then you see that Slovenia and Algeria, probably that was the worst game at the World Cup so far. It was terrible. Both teams were awful. And Slovenia was very lucky to get the goal. But yeah, that's, but that can change though. When Algeria or Slovenia play and they play different teams like USA and England, there's no pressure on them. They don't have to dictate play. They could just defend and counterattack, and then these teams can be more dangerous than they might appear to be, after just watching the first game. But I would still count on Algeria losing all 3 games, England winning the group, and USA coming in second. But then again, lately some odd things have been happening, so we'll have to wait and see. But anyway, that's my take on the first games that have been played in Group C. Alright, thank you.